Main system engaging combat mode.
For a period spanning over a decade, Armored Core was the series that first came to most gamers' minds if you heard the name FromSoftware. If you recognise the name at all. The first Armored Core released in '97, a year after Kingsfield 3, and ushered in the mech era of FromSoft, with this series taking pride of place as the studio's main moneymaker. Build your mech, customize its parts, blow stuff up, return to base, tweak your loadout, find what works for you. Rifles, rockets, missiles, grenade launchers, energy weapons, to name a few. And once you run out of ammo, you can fall back to Old Faithful, the laser blade. This is the sole melee option in the first Armored Core. One move, one attack, grounded or airborne. With laser blades it's incredibly hard to hit your target compared to the firearms which are the core of the combat. The mech's onboard computer only provides targeting for guns and missiles. There is no lock-on for melee combat. Now usually I focus on their fantasy offerings and RPGs, but FromSoft are finally returning to this neglected series, with Armored Core 6 set for release later this year. Ravens, rejoice. Now, you may think I'm jumping on the Robo bandwagon, trying to get in on the content rush before the new game comes out. Damn right I am, but let no man say I don't love old FromSoft. And perhaps I've earned my Raven wings already, or rather, Lynx wings. My first Armored Core was For Answer, which I grabbed for a $5 at a car boot sale. That game wrecked me from start to finish. Even after beating it, I felt like I hadn't mastered it. Other than that, AC1 is the only game I've played in the series, and I actually enjoyed it more. In a game based around dynamic, high-octane ranged combat, what chance is there for a pilot who must somehow dodge a hail of projectiles for long enough to get in close and finally dish out some damage? Will some missions be simply too hard to beat? Will some enemies be impossible to hit with melee at all? How good is my customization? Can I make an optimal melee build with the options provided? Before we can answer, we first have to take the entrance exam.
Oh, come on.
So let's just enter our pilot's name. Nice. We go straight into the test.
System engaged.
It's simple enough. Fight 2 mechs and win. The game calls them Armored Core here, but aren't they MTs? The dumb standard enemies that almost seem unmanned. Our bog standard Armored Core comes equipped with a rifle and missiles, so of course we don't use those, even in the initial test. To hit these 2 enemies, we'll need to get in close, which can be harder than it looks, especially with these test arena mechs. See how it flies above my strike? Getting hit in the air launches me up too, making it harder to stay in control. Fortunately, one is decent enough to land right in front of me and gets slapped. The other shoots it towards me, and we can finish it off. 1 down, 1 to go. I check out the upper floor, hoping to swoop down, but miss. I was worried I'd fall at the first hurdle, but the enemy stops fighting smart and kind of waddles about while I wail on his clunky ass. 7 times. I had to laser blade it 7 times. Oh Jesus. This might be a tough challenge.
Moment on. You are a Raven.
Welcome to the Raven's Nest. This is our home base, and nothing says home like an email inbox, right? Marching orders from the boss. R communicates by email and is our point of contact for contracts. He explains that the nest fulfills all our piloting needs, shop, garage, etc. And also that us Ravens, the Armored Core pilots, are mercenaries. We do whatever work we can for the highest bidder. That's the idea, but I will be anything but neutral. Let's get customizing. We take off all the projectile weapons, but it's time for a makeover next. Yeah, that looks suitably stupid. Let's go with that. Right, let's go fail our first mission. Strikers are blockading a bridge. Industrial action. One of the first mission choices is actually to murder workers in cold blood because they dare to protest for better working conditions. Now, I don't know what your politics are, but to straight up kill strikers? That's a bit extreme. Already we can see Armoured Core is unburdened by morality. Although, over the past couple of years, I'd imagine there's a few London commuters who wouldn't mind this solution to the train and tube strikes. I enjoy the brutal insensitivity from the client, Chrome Corporation. We have no time to deal with such trifling matters. Classic corporate fat cats, am I right? Well, I'm gonna take the job. But it's not what you think. I've accepted the contract just to head behind the barrier at the start and pick up this rocket launcher on the ground. See, some missions have hidden weapons, and I'm not about to miss any of them. We abandon the contract immediately. It's my one ethical move for the whole playthrough, probably. The armament we can sell for much needed cash, as well as all the starter guns we removed at the beginning. With the cash injection, we buy arguably the best generator in the game. This will massively increase the energy output, meaning we can use more power-hungry parts, and also have more boost, or stamina, out in the field. We buy a better blade for more damage, and an improved booster. More powerful, but more demanding, with how quickly it drains the energy gauge. I took her for a quick spin in the test area. It feels a lot more responsive, but I can't boost or stay airborne for very long. Every Raven has their own emblem, so we need one of our own. I spent too long making this. And it's finally done. My masterpiece. Burv.
System engaged.
I needed to find out. And for that, I needed to fuck around. So here we are, doing the mission. Eliminate squatters. Another morally suspect assignment, and I've gone with the caterpillar treads instead of legs. It's funny to me just how slow you can set yourself up to be. However, the sword slash is replaced by a straightforward stabbing attack, which I think will be less effective. I can't do the glancing slashes as something moves past me anymore. Also, I hoped this literal tank build would be able to bully its way into enemy range, but instead it gets knocked backwards by projectiles. This is no brawler. I've added an input display in case you want to know what the hell I'm pressing. So we've got a strafe, and the infamous feature of having up and down look mapped to L and R2. Some people apparently can't get their head around it. Party, party. To this I say, get good. Whee! That's it. X to boost, strafe on L1 and R1. They're basically Kingsfield controls on crack. One thing to note, if you fully deplete the energy gauge, you can't boost or use the laser blade. You have to wait until the gauge recharges to max before you can zip about again. I'm decently happy with my movement. Let's go smash some mecha hippies. Weed-smoking jobless fecks. Layabouts. The cold hand of capitalism is here to evict, and we're the bailiff. I land one hell of a killing blow, one and done. I wish I could do this consistently. Uh-oh, PlayStation 1 time. I can see this enemy model through the wall. What is going on here? Something I learn even in this early game mission is, killing something with impunity is a rare occurrence. most of my kills will be trading damage. One more construction vehicle, and we're done.
Target achieved.
The excitement doesn't end there. It's time for the expenses report. Not using any ammunition is apparently quite sustainable. The only costs incurred are 4,000 credits to repair the machine, leaving us with almost 10k in profit. New AC players using guns like you're supposed to often run the risk of bankrupting themselves after spunking too much expensive ordnance. Straight into the next mission. I think Isaac City is one of the main underground settlements the population of this blighted world now live in. They've got suspicious clunky boys in their sewers, a simple extermination job for us. My fighting style may be ugly, but it works. Another starter mission. They're not turning up the heat just yet.
Target achieved. System engaged.
This time, some security robots, MTs, have run amok in one of the cities. I was so unsure as to whether MTs are unmanned drone robots or piloted, and the answer is both. You kinda have to figure it out every time, if you care. And I don't think you're supposed to care. The city of Fort Garden, or what I thought was Isaac City. Yes, Armored Core geography is hard. Look at that lag after I land. It's horrible. I seem to be stuck for an eternity. We head up to a rooftop to get a look at the environment. It's something I quite enjoy doing in Armored Core. Even though, yeah, you're probably supposed to fight on, focus on the action, and not stop to smell the rusty roses. A rocket in my mouth reminds me of this fact. I try some slick air movement and strafing to get in on my target, land directly between them, and eat a bunch of missiles. This is butt ugly.
Target achieved.
Easy money. Time to spend some. We head to the shop, and I mess around, totally paralysed by the options for a while. We pick up some lighter arms. We can sustain a bit less damage now, but we're lighter. Airborne manoeuvres will be a bit easier, and our boost will last longer. But will it be enough to save us? The world's power is split between two mega corporations. Chrome is one of them, and they contract us to get an abandoned oil rig back from a terrorist group known as Struggle. The catch with this mission? All the enemies are flying drones. No problem, I can still slash in the air, right? For me, it's almost impossible to hit these little fuckers in the air. I tried this a few times in test runs and had no joy. It took me ages. This time I'm trying to bunch them together so they destroy each other with friendly fire, and wait for the occasional drone to get close to the water, within striking distance. No idea how I'm floating on the water, by the way. Anyway, I got super lucky.
Battle seems hard fought. We will now engage in support fire. Stay safe for a while.
Chrome assists with fire support some way into the mission. I hide behind a pillar, and they manage to wipe out the remaining drones. This didn't work any of the times I tried before deciding to do this challenge run for a video. The Raven's Nest, and by extension, us, are playing both sides of this conflict between the leading megacorporations. We've done work for Chrome, and now we're contracted by Murakumo Millennium for another sea-bound sortie. Murakumo aren't happy with their rival building a gun battery at sea, so we're off to batter it. I choose to ignore the flyers and head straight for the artillery. Two down, but the third I land on top of and can't hit. The little elevation around the turret cancels my attack animation. I just bounce off. I note that this could be a problem later, but attacking while landing does the trick.
Target achieved.
And we're making money hand over fist. Time for some admin though. The email inbox awaits. We have a message from Chrome, who believe that terrorist group, or freedom fighting rebels, or whatever, struggle, are actually supported behind the scenes by rival corporation, Mirakumo. Speaking of which, they also sent us an email. They're pleased with the work so far and will have more for us in the future. Thing is guys, Mirakumo plays Pepsi to Chrome's Coca-Cola, and in this case, I'm afraid we have to go with the champ. Time to put our credits to use. We swapped out our leg for some fancy light ones, and the increase in speed is clear, but I really didn't like the way the slash attack changed. The new diagonal angle seems like it's actually harder to hit moving targets. The vibration on the run animation is jarring, and the speed increase while boosting didn't seem significant enough. So, back to the drawing board. After a lot more dicking around, I settled on some tougher legs with a weird tail thing, and this Souls boss looking head. It's oddly elongated. We take a mission that's basically a license to print free money. Worker robots have again lost control in a power station. It's hazardous for poor marksmen, but we're worse than that. We won't fire a single shot. You have to destroy the robots without doing damage to the generators all over the place. Oh, look at him dance. This is a contender for easiest mission in the game, and we're not going to turn down the money, which we get all of, making this the only mission ever that's pure profit, with no costs incurred. Tweaking continues. We sell the basic radar that's been on our back the whole time, as the new head's gonna radar for us. I switched to the red eye head part, as it comes with British lady voice.
Main system, engaging test mode.
Which is more consistent with my channel branding, you know? I also picked up the most powerful booster currently on the market, but found despite the quicker movement, it drains my gauge far too quickly to be sustainable. Also, we can see the weird targeting assist or soft lock-on the game has, even on the melee attacks. Look how it flings me about when I try to hit these practice robots in the air. That looked like an awesome display of skill, but I think it was a fluke, really. With the big pile of cash amassed, we can buy optional parts for our mech. These additional gizmos don't come with a weight penalty. Think of them as accessories. You can slot however many your core piece allows. We get two. One that increases our energy output, super important, and another that increases energy weapon damage. I'm just praying that includes the laser blade, but couldn't find the definitive answer online. I've gone back to the old booster though. I think I forgot to try the better one, now that we've got more juice.
Main system, engaging combat mode.
A mysterious group is the Earth Environment Reclamation Committee, who are trying to fix, explore, and exploit ruins from the old world, ostensibly to try and make it all habitable again. Good guys, right? They've found an old facility and are trying to salvage what they can before the dinosaur megacorporations start squabbling over it. Unfortunately, they've run into a spot of bother. The security systems come online and trapped the research team inside, in their little APC. This facility is quite important, I think. The little Roomba-looking things think so, as they're defending it hard. And my god, do they have some firepower. It's quite hard to destroy these groups when they're pumping you full of shots. They're not our objective, so we start avoiding them. Mechanical sliding and jumping. Fun and frolics. We fly over them when possible.
Raven! Thank goodness. Destroy the gate lock device. This will certainly open the gate.
Our armor's pretty low by the time we reach the team. The final two robots take some real killing too. I start to panic as I can't hit the door circuits to open it. Fortunately, a robot shoots it while trying to shoot me, and the mission is over.
Target of operation cleared. System switched to normal mode.
Returning to the nest sees a new message from the boss, suggesting the Earth Reclaim boyos aren't what they seem. We have a look at our fellow Ravens. Pretty Kitty, Boss Savage, Valkyrie, Nineball. Time for a weapon upgrade. We buy the highest power laser blade on offer. And I want to compete on style points too, so it's time for some new drip. Horrible! I'll take it. The next contract is Isaac City Guard again, and I think these guys are a bit useless. We're not tackling lethal robots or serious attacks. This time we're chasing down some delinquent in a car park. I'm not convinced he's even a terrorist. Oh well. The annoying little fucker dances around us. And we've got to be careful here. Any civilian car damaged is deducted from our pay. After he evades us for 2 floors, I figured he's programmed to descend further, so I decided to block the exit to B4 and let him come to me. To great effect.
Target of operation cleared.
It's not long before we're rolled out again by the same bobbies to clean up their mess. Terrorists are trying to build their headquarters in the sewers. This time it's me and these blue jobbers versus the grey jobbers, which are the terroristas. I'm leaning towards missions that aren't for Chrome or Murakumo yet, as I'm trying to avoid advancing the plot. I'm loving the damage output now though. I'm also loving this little human-sized door. Another easily missed stage element. Maybe I shouldn't have called them jobbers. I've taken a decent amount of damage, and evading this guy in the tunnel sees me soaking up more bullets than I thought I would. As we near the target, our ally near the centre blows up for no reason.
Target identified as the enemy leader's MT.
Oh man, this is a boss battle. Let's go! As I hide behind the scenery. Look, I only had 4,000 odd armour left, alright? I wanted to make it out alive. He shoots me backwards as I try to approach. But it's not enough.
Target of operation cleared. System switched to normal mode.
Back at base, we buy another option part. This one reduces damage from energy weapons.
We have reached the fuel depot. Dropping AC.
Nothing's really tested us so far, but that's about to change. We take a contract from Murakumo to guard a freight train they believe is going to come under attack. We have ulterior motives, however. I know there's a hidden AC part on this map, so we make straight for it and start smashing boxes to find it.
AC head obtained.
Once we've got head, it's time to keep ours up. All the enemies are airborne, and the train won't arrive until we've thinned their numbers a bit. Only, we can't. I can't touch a single plane, and spend the entire mission flailing at them. Until I'm eventually destroyed. I tried baiting them into each other. I tried boosting to the top of this mesa, but that didn't give me an edge either. It was a rather frustrating experience, which set us back some 11,000 credits. Once again, flying enemies will be the bane of this challenge run.
Defenses damaged, halting combat and returning to the nest.
At least we picked up that headpiece, which isn't much use because it doesn't have radar, nor auto-mapper. Selling it does, however, recoup all the losses from that mission. We even made a small profit. I was trying to clear up as many missions as possible before the Attack Urban Center mission, because I erroneously believed this to be a milestone that would advance the plot. So it's into some random company's fuel depot for Murakumo Millennium. Our mission is to destroy all the tanks. However, with only a melee attack, we experience some serious blowback.
Enemy MTs
Fortunately, I
identified as
somehow
guards.
know the location of another secret piece of equipment. So,
AC
after
weapon
grabbing that,
obtained.
it's back to trying to blow the tanks. I figured I could let security break them for me by dodging behind it, but I'm still too close and the blast catches me. I consider myself beaten and abort mission before I take any more damage, and incur further costs. After this second failure in a row, R pings me a message, hinting at the Human Plus project. Human Plus is a kind of safety net. Fuck up enough and go deep enough into bankruptcy, and your flesh belongs to the nest. They give you cybernetic implants, so you lose your pure humanity, but get permanent upgrades in battle. The game essentially gets easier as a result, so it helps you out.
Seems to have piled up quite a debt.
Must have dashed his dreams. But he will be reborn in this experiment.
That is, if he lives.
You have a point there. Let's get started.
I'm dead set on retaining my humanity, however. We make absolute bank on that rifle we picked up, so that will help. Another option part then, a further defensive buff, which takes the last possible slot for our light to midweight mech. Next up, Chrome pay us to test out their new unmanned MT. It's fully independent. Does that mean the other bots aren't? Oh well, it's a bit silly really. In real life, you should never contribute to the automation of your own role or profession. I'm sure this won't come back to bite us in the arse. Anyway, we get in and chop at its legs like hacking down a tree.
We got some excellent data. We'll put it to good use in the future. Thank you for your help.
More easy money. But the cash flow has dried up. The only mission left is to destroy the fuel depot once again. But we can't do it. We take too much damage from the explosions. I mess around, trying to hit a ceiling-mounted turret, further showing how awkward it is to slash anything while in the air. I tried hitting the tanks from weird angles to see if I could move past the blast zones in the process, but to no avail. I eventually decided to just take the L and see what happens.
Defenses damaged, halting combat and returning to the nest.
Other than losing another 10,000 credits. What happens is the show goes on. Most of the time in Armored Core, the game considers you to have failed the mission, but progresses anyway. The only thing that happens is you incur financial losses. Keep failing, and you get into dire straits and can't buy any cool new stuff for your AC. Sometimes you can even retry the mission after outright failing it, but fortunately for us, this one is now cleared off the board, and we can move on from the deadly fuel tanks. We're given a choice between guarding the entrance of a factory for Chrome and locating said entrance and attacking it for Murakumo. We're going to choose Chrome because the Chrome mission contains an item which is very important to FromSoft fanboys. Unfortunately, as we deploy to guard this entrance and nab some free boosters, Murakumo attack with all flying enemies. Our kryptonite. I really am bloody useless in this mission. I try as hard as I can and manage to down one plane, but eventually they manage to blow the entrance door and it's fission mailed.
Lock destroyed. Combat operations halted.
Thankfully we only drop around $1,000 of credits. We got another transmission from the EERC, the guys who want to re-inhabit the surface of the Earth. This is a follow-up mission from the last contract we did for them. Remember we rescued their survey team from this base? Note the change in colour of the walls. This mission is in the same place.
Raven, there is a total of 3 control panels. Destroy all 3 as soon as you find them.
It seems they delved too deep and awoke something in the darkness? No, the blinding light of this facility. It's on us to break in and bust the security system for them. The mission says MT, like it's just one, but it means the whole system. I fuck up immediately. You're supposed to brute force your way through the laser grid and keep going, but I was blocked off by this security robot and took, to quote another YouTuber, massive damage. Well, we may as well soldier on and see this attempt as recon. I swear I get hit through the wall a bit here, but yeah, not surprising that we get blown up. And I'm not sure how the AC or pilots make it safely back to the Raven's Nest each time. Fortunately, failing this mission doesn't remove it from the board, and we get to try again. That little shit of a roboto tried to block me again. I guess usually you'd shoot it. Ducking behind the level geometry sometimes, and rushing the enemies down other times, we eat a lot of damage from laser and missiles alike. In these long corridors, there's not much room to bob and weave. What doesn't help is when they reverse, firing constantly. The dreaded MTs show up and take 3 slashes to kill. Severely damaged, we start rushing and only fight if something gets straight in our path. We run straight through the second command node, and then comes the difficulty. Just where do we go from here? And check my inputs when I move this map. It's confusing as all hell. This mission shows the importance of having a head part with a mapping function. You don't want to be rolling around here blind. I see a corridor lined with barrier after energy barrier, and I suspect this can't be the right way. So it's backtracking, wandering, taking damage from turrets I can't break. What I can break is the objective, with one triumphant dive for a massive payoff. Not just the credits, the name of this mission we can do. Stop Gang. Dark Soul. Oh my god, Miyazaki does it again! Kojima! We leave Dark Soul Gang alone though, to pick up a contract for Murakumo. Once again, we're siding with Chrome in the conflict overall, but we take this job in order to finesse the former firm. Murakumo's mysterious Human Plus project isn't without its accidents. A former Raven test subject has apparently lost his mind and gone on a rampage. Do Murakumo want us to protect civilians? Or just make their dirty secret disappear? Time for some base diving. I knew the secret generator part was somewhere below the start, but landing directly on top of it was a total fluke.
Target object obtained.
That's how we finessed Murakumo anyway. The rogue Raven can go free. We were only interested in the Jenny. Its maximum energy is larger, but it recharges slower, allowing for longer bursts of movement, but we have to wait longer between them. For now, we go with it. All the way to Gal City, which has come under attack by giant ant-looking things. Okay, some kind of biological weapon. First, we fly up. I wanted to look at the city for a bit. A monorail! I do enjoy these little details. From didn't have to put that in. Well, killing that one ant was awkward. It usually is. If your radar or headpiece doesn't have a biosensor, you can't target them. That's not a problem for us, because you don't have to aim a slash at face tanking distance. The water running down into a cave system gives me them sweet Minecraft vibes. Got to love that classic claustrophobic camera as we hurtle down these corridors, seeking the queen of the hive, bouncing off the walls and ceilings as we go. There she blows. She's hiding a piece of gear in here too. We eventually pick it up, and it's slappy time. R points out that these were not natural insects, that it could have only been done by Murakumo or Chrome.
Target of operation cleared. System switched to
Speaking of Chrome,
main system.
it's time to move out for them
Engaging combat mode.
again. We're snooping in an old base, and Chrome suspect two things. That it was used in early Human Plus development, and that Murakumo are behind that project. The writing suggests to me that a change has occurred in the ruins. The survey teams didn't find a capsule, they say a capsule had been put there. The teams were targeted by robots they'd never seen before, but where have we seen them before? That facility we attacked to disable the security system for the Earth Reclamation Group really makes you think, doesn't it? So here we go, digging deep underground for dirt on Murakumo. The atmosphere here is surprisingly good. Silence, distant sounds echoing around the halls, and a voice recording in garbled Japanese still coming through the PA system. Playing for God knows how many years. Was this VAT used in the Human Plus project? This is some Evangelion shit, which is still the only mech anime I've ever watched. Please don't judge me. Listen to this sound design as we drop in for a chat. Hello, Silent Hill? There's nothing like boosting into a defeated enemy as it blows up, just to pre-accelerate to get to the next one quicker. The clunking noises are getting louder as we're getting closer to our objective. There it is, the Human Plus capsule. What the hell is inside that thing? A person?
Capsule obtained.
God, we've surely got enough credits to retire at this point. Chrome, email us. They reckon the capsule is older than the apocalypse, basically suggesting that Murakumo discovered Human Plus as a holdover from the old world, that they didn't invent it themselves.
This is the target.
We're now Chrome's dog, a Chrome hound, if you will. We're sicked on this crashed plane of theirs. We destroy the flight records in the cockpit and set about the enemy MTs. One keeps knocking us back. Come on man, I just want to spud you, or dap you, or whatever. Geez, these guys are tough, and there's no cover in this big crater. Almost at half health, we take to the skies to look for enemies in safety. This is the first mission for a while that's forced me to play hard. Another skilled kill, and there's two left. I float to try and get close. I know I'll eat a ton of damage, but there's no other choice. Last one, and we're done. Done for.
Enemy reinforcements identified as a ranking AC.
A fellow Raven comes to kill us.
Enemy ranking AC identified.
Kamui gets dropped in, but I have the drop on him, really. I stalk his big shadow on the ground and wait for him to land. A tread-type AC like that will have massive firepower and could melt me from a distance, so I don't give him the chance. Get utterly wrecked.
Target of operation cleared. System switched to normal mode.
The thing about being an amoral, neutral mercenary, selling your services to the highest bidder, is that sometimes you play both sides of the field, and even undo your own work. We're heading back to the Earth Reclamation Crew's pet facility for the third time. This time, however, our paymasters are Chrome Corporation. Earth Crew's cover story is that they're using the joint as a base of operations for their surveys topside, and dismantling old world weaponry. But Chrome are suspicious, and believe the true target to be a treasure trove of old world data pertaining to weapon systems and technology, on a databank deep in the base. Remember that long corridor with multiple laser barriers before? I suspect it might be through there, and we helped the EERC get to it. Now we're going to U-turn and destroy it for Chrome. The beginning of the mission is the corridors used in our first visit to the base, back in our 7th mission. The defences are weak, as you'd expect from this organisation, but it's a cover. It's not long before we see a mass-produced armoured core unit, designated Heatwave. Why would an NGO have something like that? The first real obstacle? This corner. We arrive at the door, entering the facility proper. This is where the second visit here began. Time for some slick missile dodging. Down that long corridor, where I think the barriers were, more heatwave units. I love the way they strafe and run while firing, but we can't hang about. We need to fail our way through this door and see...
You're a Raven? I don't know anything about those things here. What did you hear? Forget it. Prepare to die.
He's piloting a Swift, another more dangerous mass-produced AC unit. We've got ourselves a boss fight. Amazingly, I score first blood. He circles away, and I duck for cover behind the computer he's trying to protect, which I then smash. The mission's not over until the danger is, though. I keep losing him. Look at that gangster lean as he moves backwards. But eventually, the inevitable catches up, and we maul him. So much for the Earth Reclamation Facility. But we're now considerably rich.
Begin the test. Fight with all your might.
Chrome have us testing out their new unmanned MT robot again. The Chaos unit. We fly up to take a look at this mock city test arena. And the robot took to another rooftop to aim at us. I enjoy how its movements are actually robotic and laggy. It actually fights like a work in progress. Simple enough. But they throw another one in by surprise. It finds us first. I score one of my precious mid-air strikes, and soon enough we play lumberjack again.
You lived up to your fame, Raven. There still seems to be room.
The only mission left on the board is from Murakumo, so we have to take it. We have to safeguard the takeoff of some controversial scientists from an airfield. Fortunately, they attack with grounded enemies. Fast little bikes. One gets stuck on me, so I slice it to ribbons. The other? What is this? It looks like a dog. They run away on the runway. There's precious little cover out here, and these fast-moving enemies are hard to chase down. Nearly defeated, we opt instead to let them come to us. As we hide in the hangar, they get caught up on the pillars and walls, allowing us to close in for the kill. We bought enough time for the real flight to take off. Turns out this plane was just a decoy, and we were bait.
We're gonna blow up that airplane along with the enemy craft. Stand back.
Well, we need to run to make sure we actually survive for the end of the mission. We arrive home to an email from Chrome, claiming to have successfully unmasked the Earth Reclamation Committee as nothing more than a covert wing of Murakumo Millennium, tasked with finding old world tech and weapons, including Human Plus. Finally, the assignment we've been waiting for all game. Struggle are a terrorist, or freedom fighting group, or whatever. This mission is the reason we've been riding for Chrome all along.
Main system.
It's all for a very special piece of equipment we can unlock on this stage. Chrome have tracked the terrorist leader to some ancient ruins. Apparently he communicates with Murakumo there, another shadowy group that Chrome insists is working with their mortal enemy. We experience the joy of mech dancing. There are booby traps here, charges in the wall, and the beefy Unknown MTs, another unit associated with Murakumo, that likes to batter us with this Fist of Gratia weapon. We get launched upwards. Tight corridors and traps. Hey, Maybe these ruins are what's left of Verdite. But that's just a theory. A lame theory. After avoiding a mech, I'm troubled at how much health we've lost. Also, we fell down some plug hole and are now stuck in an empty room. The only way out is back up, which wouldn't be a problem if it wasn't for the awkward controls. Or if I was a better pilot, whichever makes the most sense to you. Rounding the corner, we're nearly hit in the face by huge fireballs. Again, this reinforces the ancient or fantasy theming of this level. I find that really cool, honestly. It could well be a nod to FromSoft's flagship series. Another big room, and we take the Shinonome out before attempting to jump through the ceiling. We take yet more damage from a mine I'm too slow to react to. I'm trying to stay airborne to evade more fireballs, and get blown straight through the floor. Man, this looks cool, and it's exactly where we want to be. Hidden deep underground in this ravine, an old friend. The form is different, but it bears the name, Moonlight. This is why we're here, and the whole reason we took on this mission, which you can only get from Chrome. This is why we chose them over Murakumo. To escape with our prize, well, we have to climb back up. I could abort the mission and keep my new toy, but where's the fun in that? The plus side is this kind of forces me to improve at platforming. It's definitely not the best element of AC1, but as we'll find out, it's quite necessary. To my dismay, I find the ceiling closed above me, which means I need to find the section I originally crashed through to make my escape. There it is. Missed the platform. And another. Ugh. I'm not annoyed. I'm not annoyed. Yes! Oh no, I ran out of energy and got demolished by that fireball. Why does it do so much damage? With no way to boost or evade, I'm finished off by the beefy boy mechs. Oh well, we may be 13,000 credits lighter, but at least we're now the rank 10 Raven. There she is. The LS99 Moonlight has over twice the power of the best laser blade you can buy. We casually swat away a test dummy. Oh, she's a beauty. I'm stoked to be reunited with my Lunar Princess, let's just say that. I'm also psyched to see we can retry this mission. First enemy gets shredded by a mine and sword combo, and we're off to a good start. Which we immediately ruin by rushing into a dead end with 3 enemies, leading to a very fast back down. In the first fireball corridor, we nearly run out of energy again, and just managed to duck around a corner before the next fireball comes out. I'm sorry in advance for the next sentence. This is Sen's Fortress Mech Edition. Come at me, haters. We absolutely fucked the dog on the movement here. Look at this clown show. Just under 4k health left, but we persevere with some intense energy gauge management. Try to enter a corridor challenge. Impossible. Down a well, and who's this little fella? Oh, this is the guy. This is the struggle leader and boss fight. his rifle on the floor here looks a bit like a walking stick. Same strat as usual. Evade, close the distance, close it out. I thought I had him, but my onslaught is broken by a buttress. He uses the gangster lean technique to back away and score more damage, and I'm in bad shape. Almost got him, but my landing lag gives him time to escape again. However, I don't know what happened here. Did the game bug out? Did I bamboozle him with my slick movement? Whatever the cause, he stops dead for the seconds I need for Moonlight to find its mark. Curiously, there's a mission posted from a fellow Raven, Boss Savage. What is this briefing? I have to read it in a style that's suitably cringy for a game of this period. I can't tell what accent it's supposed to be.
Why'd you say yous helps me out with a little job I'd taken? I think I'm over my head on this one. You see, it's at the bottom of the sea. Yeah, an abandoned undersea.
Yeah, I'm not going to apologise for that. You know.
Main system engaging combat mode.
We're sending you back to sea, my boy. Boss Savage runs off. Operation Seagate 2, commencing mission. More Roombas. Were we really brought in to deal with this trash? Oh god, not these things. They light me up with their lasers. A simple enough seek and destroy mission across various rooms and submarine bays. We scour all the accessible area and I'm at a loss for what to do. Some old game jank. You have to fully enter this particular room for the trap to spring.
I've locked the doors to this room. Sorry, but killing you is my mission. I will take my leave now.
Huh. His voice sounds different to the way he, types. All of a sudden it sounds less dialecty. Was that part of the ruse as well? I will take my leave now. The door is sealed behind us, so what's Savage's plan? To take a sub and leave us down here? Well, according to our area map, there's a way out of this room. And you can kind of see it in the wall, although that might be due to the upscaled textures I'm using. Busting through the wall starts the music up again. Nice touch. And it's one of the better tracks in this game too. Right. Where are you, boss? I suppose the objective now is to simply escape. I ignore some of the enemies and get moving. We check some more rooms looking for an escape craft. No dice so far. Eventually we find one. So, who put the hit out on us? Someone wants us dead. We even get a gloating email from them. I guess it's Boss Savage. It does say meet again. It's safe to say things are getting a bit weird around here. It wouldn't be a FromSoftware game without a poison swamp, poison area, let's say that. This time it's a base that's gone haywire and flooded its halls with poison gas. Corrosive poison gas that's lethal to our machine too. We eschew the entrance in favour of a second one over the hill and dive into the purple. Gosh, our armour is draining, and fast. The mission is to plant bombs on control nodes within the base. Here's one. Annoyingly, you have to circle it to find the panel itself.
Detonation device planted.
Complicating matters are more of these Roomba enemies. In these tight corridors they often hit you, and we don't have time to be taking them out. All this damage adds up, and fast. The panel on this one is on the left too. I think it's the only one, so we slide past. And then can't open the fucking door quick enough.
Open the fucking door.
I consider starting again and removing the moonlight blade just so there's less drain on our generator so we can boost more. The clock is ticking, and we're lost. This loop in the map is a nasty trick. You could find yourself going round in circles. We find our way out to a straighter corridor and have to stop boosting to regain energy. The T-junction betrays its secret on the map. 2 nodes here, leaving only one more. It's looking very unlikely. But we've learned something. The breakable wall here, connecting us to a whole other part of the base. We emerge to a safe area and back to the night sky. This was the first entrance, it seems, which means we must have gone past a node and doomed ourselves. In a desperate last attempt, we plunge back into the poison to locate the last node. To no avail. But who retrieves the mech and pilot?
Damaged, halting combat and returning to the nest.
We're able to retry, so I pick a bog standard blade with lower energy cost. We still need it to break the wall. I also switch to a booster that's a bit more energy efficient. This time we head through the first entrance and struggle through the wall to immediately plant at those first 2 nodes. Instead of searching, we retreat back outside and go to entrance 2. Not sure what my rationale is. I figure the nodes are closer to the other entrance maybe? And less time moving through the gas. Eventually I find a turning I didn't recognise, and lo and behold, here's the node. I miss it twice because the plant bomb button is the same as my sword button. Ugh. The mission doesn't end when you plant the last bomb, you still have to make it out. Even with the better routing and foreknowledge, we've still taken way too much damage, so I'm starting to panic here. I want to boost solely along the ground because it uses less energy, but getting hit knocks us into the air and the flying starts. My god, that was close. Only 427 HP left.
Target of operation clear.
Man, look at that lake view. Not bad for PS1. A mission we could have done if working for Murakumo was to release giant bugs in a facility owned by a Chrome front company. Looks like another Raven did the job, so we're on cleanup duty. Just search for and slay some queens. Simple as. We're then sent into space. Accidentally slap the supply material we're bringing in, and beat up some mechs. Chrome are over the moon with my progress, so they send me there. Instructions unclear. They say don't bother with enemies, but also kill enemies for a bonus. Only mugs ride elevators downwards.
Attention intruders, anyone disobeying will be shot. I repeat, leave immediately.
Anyone disobeying will be shot? That threat only works against squishy human targets. Look, I got shot a couple of times immediately. So is the threat over? Only mugs ride elevators upwards. I actually have some memory of this place after my blind playthrough a few months ago. I know to avoid the big chamber at the beginning and the enemies there. Our attempts to break this turret are frustrated, and we press on, up another shaft into this cool room. But there's another Swift unit up here who lives up to its name. I can't keep him in sight, much less hit him. He even manages to laser blade me. This is unnecessary, of course. I should have run, but I can be stubborn, and this is my reward. He shoots the shit out of me. I eventually get in, but it's a Pyrrhic victory. We broke the Jenny, so this was a suicide mission. We're not getting out alive, not past those turrets.
Defenses damaged. Halting combat and returning.
This time, the game won't allow us to replay the mission. It's just considered a fail, but I refuse to take the L, not after getting this close. So I load my save to give it another try. Them bloody turrets nearly knocked me off the walkway. I told myself I would avoid that Swift unit for the sake of the mission, but I got that dog in me. I lure him into the doorway of the next area, funneling him into the entrance, so I can score some cheap hits. I try to pursue, but his pulse weapon stops me in my tracks. Eventually, I lame it out once again. Please enjoy this classic Armored Core moment.
Emergency! Emergency!
The base will self-destruct in 2 minutes. I'm glad I didn't use the elevator, so I can just drop down instead of being slowly lowered by it. Let me through the door! 2 minutes is quite tight, really. We hit the lift just in case. I guess that makes us a mug. A victorious one, at least.
Target of operation clear.
I suppose this is the space segment of the game. The mission board offers a grand total of one choice, to go to Murakumo's moon base, their last stand. Justice. Justice is the name of a giant weapon on the moon, aimed at Earth. Murakumo got their hands on this Wunderwaffe from the old world, and we need to destroy it before it can fire. The mission is a huge tunnel. The barrel of the gun itself? We need to enter shafts in the side and target these blue spheres, all while flying drone enemies are peppering us with shots. While finicky, it's also a deadly endeavour. They explode, dealing significant damage. As do these energy barriers we also need to smash through. We lose over 1,000 armor with each component destroyed, meaning we can't actually win. I tried to dance in the air and make the drones break the second barrier, but eventually hit it myself, to catastrophic effect. And one more sphere puts us down. At this late stage in the game, the fail state is just that. No return to the nest. It's a real game over. Dead. Eliminate. Title screen. I was momentarily at a loss. How can we mitigate this damage somehow? For answer to these problems, you can usually find in the garage. It's back to the drawing board, and time to use all these funds we've amassed. We go through the list of the body parts, and mainly look at the armor point stat. The biggest, beefiest parts. Massive shoulders, barrel chest, thick legs. We're gonna be moving a bit slower. And oh my lord, is there any lift on these boosters? I can barely get up to hit the sphere. Okay, boom. Got it. And we took hardly any damage. Yes, this is the strat. We took the brunt of the barrier explosion. Another sphere, and we're still above 9,000 armor. Thick thighs save lives. Ignoring the enemies and all the shots coming our way, we press on. It takes several attempts to get into the energy core. Being hit in the air knocks us off course. It would be frustrating if I didn't have so much faith in my beefy boy armor.
Target achieved.
I wonder how the bigwigs at Murakumo take this loss.
So, I have failed. This means the end of Murakumo. After all, pawns are mere pawns.
In the oddly worded end of the story, it's revealed that without their primary rival, Chrome's monopoly leads to stagnation and decline, not prosperity. Which raises the question, who's the world leader now? The Raven's Nest has no mercy for what used to be its primary client. I don't know how much time has passed since our moon adventures and now, but our former buddies at Chrome are now scattered, and we're off to ruthlessly exterminate whoever remains. At this run speed. I felt like playing with the beefer a bit more. But where are the enemies? The base seems abandoned. Hello again, Silent Hill fans. We're told to return by a radio message, but I disobey and go down even further, just to have a look-see. Nothing, but I'm still glad I checked. Although there is this huge shaft in the ceiling which leads outside. It's actually the beginning of a mission in the same place, if you sided with Murakumo beforehand. So, making our way back up, at a painful pace, we encounter enemies. No explanation from the radio. Were they Chrome forces in hiding? Or were they sent specifically as an ambush for us? I forgot to bring a bloody radar though, so fighting them will be a bit of a pain. We run instead. Eventually we see daylight, but I'm not sure why they thought one of the best Ravens would be defeated by a handful of MTs. But okay.
You're still alive? But we will end that now. Don't you understand? You are totally out of line. You are going overboard.
Name of AC. Sledgehammer.
Boss Savage makes his second appearance in his sledgehammer mech. No betrayal here. Just business. Raven versus Raven. An unkindness. A brief laser blade exchange leaves him worse for wear, and he eludes me. I don't want to go out of bounds, so I reposition to the center. No radar feed means I have to use my eyes to find him. How quaint. I'm very glad of this thick armor now as I hunt him through the trees. Give it up, boss. I have the high ground. Oh. This isn't skill, at least not on my part. This is two old dogs battering each other until the hammer breaks.
Target achieved.
We rebuild the rig, going back to the lightweight loadout, for yet another mission given to us directly by the Raven's Nest, the unassumingly named Destroy Floating Mines. It sounds rather routine, belying the fact that it's the final mission. To lull us into a false sense of security, I suppose. Reportedly, an unknown group broke into the Raven's Nest itself and were eliminated, leaving us to go in and clear up after them, namely, the mines they'd left behind. It's another trap. R, or the Raven's Nest, really has it out for us. Now they want to kill us in our own base. This room is chaotic as hell. I'm quickly brought lower than half health. The big bruisers are easy enough to hit, but these jumpy fuckers stay out of your reach while whittling down your health. Their damage is quite good. I'm almost done for, but I notice they're still inflicting friendly fire on each other. One left. Nope. But we're not returning to the nest, are we? We are super dead. Let's give it another go. This time I move back and hope they'll hit each other more, wear that health down. We wait, but they can still hit me? That does it. I think we got a double kill. Time to retreat and hope they bunch up by the door again. I thought I'd done a sick backwards dodge to evade the enemy's fist, but no, it was me getting punched. This time I've got over half health and just one guy left. The irony is, these jumpy dudes are the same two in the test arena. The real name for this mission should be Survive Brutal Ambush. I try my door and corridor shenanigans again, but it's not working so much. Hey, who's that? That's the struggle leader, isn't it? I thought his mech was unique, but there's two of them in here. Does that mean struggle were actually run by the Raven's Nest? I am entirely outgunned here. Rather than try again, I remembered the walking tank build I'd thought of before. It didn't take long for me to swap all that right back in. The good thing about the chunkier torso part is that it can slot more option parts too, further increasing our tankiness. Here comes the big bad. You can both jump to escape, but I'm coming for you. Oh man, this is ugly. The last one has the good manners to land right next to me for a final fist bump, and it's on to the hell room. Yo! It really is rather difficult to hit, well, anything. I'm so staggered I can't land this easy kill that was delivered to me on a platter. The struggle units, or shiranui, are very difficult to catch. I try to funnel them into the smaller area, using the tactic that worked before. It works. They get caught on the threshold, and I land a desperate hit. The last backs himself into a corner and jumps. I track his shadow on the ground, and am ready for him to land. Now, as it's the final mission, we are not done yet. We get a free repair from the game, and continue in, despite a warning over the intercom.
Stop such foolishness.
I want to fight that enemy, but a turret comes down and teabags me, and there's nothing I can do about it. Right. He's down. Now what's going on here? Locked gates. The only way is up. Welcome to the infamous block climbing section that concludes AC1, and I have to do it in this big unwieldy lug of a mech. You have to jump and boost your way up, land on these moving blocks, and there are a great many of them. The problem is, there's turrets on the top and bottom of most of them, and without firearms, we can't hit the lower ones. The ones on top we have to carefully land next to and manage to slash before they can blast us right back off the block. I felt deep frustration. I felt it in real life, physically, around my gooch area. My friends, I was climbing for an undisclosed amount of time. Look at that, knocked off again. Eventually I figured the strat is land facing a turret and just mash circle like your life depends on it until the turret is clear. This took me several minutes to figure out. What you need to understand is, this isn't a few blocks, we have to climb really high up. Is that another MT? Up here? Oh no, it knocked me down. That's gonna fuck with me so badly. I lost control and ended up at rock bottom. I wait for that enemy to join me down here so I can dismantle it, but nothing. So, up we go. Oh my god, the absolute troll. Get down here. Oh, gotcha. With style too. The strat I centered on was getting to the absolute apex of a jump, before looking down in that hang time to find a landing place. From there you only have to use the D-pad to steer, no more boosting necessary, kind of. No! Oh my god, what a save. That was worth using all my meter. I see the exit, just one more jump. Whew.
Resistance is futile.
What?
9-ball.
Just as we drop into a huge shaft, we hear the name. 9-ball. 9-ball. That's the legendary Raven, Hustler 1, the #1 ranked pilot, coming to kill us. Holy shit. I know I should just run, but I want to at least, you know, have a go. And really, could there be a worse arena to fight the guy? There he is, on the ring below, firing into the ceiling. Explosions, booms. I'm taking hits without being able to see him. Damn, he's as good as they say. Almost superhuman. I saw a flicker of a shadow, but he's out of my face before I can touch him. Even with my beefy armor, his pulse rifle melts me. I should run. As I reposition, I score a hit. And another. He's caught in a pattern. He escapes, but his area of effect affects him. He's down. We did it. We beat 9-ball. I've never done that before. You can call me 9-buster. Well, time to move on. I was so stoked I went the wrong way. We're supposed to go down the shaft. Another cool visual though, for PS1 days. Out of my fucking way. And you. Who's talking to us? We may have beaten 9-ball, but we can't defeat this shaft. Looks like we're going up this time. And what's that sound? Boosting? Explosions? Another mech? Oh, what the fuck? It's 9-ball! There are two! 2 9-balls? What fresh hell is this? Run, just run. I'm praying I can get up enough that he gets caught on the rings or something and can't follow me up. I'm panicking. I don't want to do the block section again. But we're defeated, once again by a hole in the damn ceiling. We take a massive fall and have to wait for the energy to recharge, all the while listening to Nineball try to kill us. He's getting closer. Oh my god. But we're in. Just one more MT. Under whatever this diamond is.
Come no closer.
And we're here. That was R, the AI that runs the Ravens as an organization. Killing him earns us a save point? Wow. Before the ending even plays.
Are you satisfied? Do you want to destroy order? Destroy the world? Is that what you want? We were needed. That's why we were born. People cannot live without order, even if it is a lie. Go on living, Raven. You or I? Which one of us was ultimately right? You have the right, the duty to find that out.
Naotoshi Zin, the OG. Well, there you have it. Can you beat Armored Core using only melee? Yes, we just did. Not all missions, but we can beat the game. That was honestly so much fun. I enjoyed every minute of it. I want to play the other games, and I hope I get enough buzz and/or inspiration to do another video on this series. I hope some old school Ravens find their way to this video, and I hope Armored Core 6 is everything you guys wanted. Oh, come on then. Let's do the Stop Dark Soul mission.
You and me together. We stood up and took a bow, all tarred and feathered. You and me together. We started to blame each other for the weather. I practice dancing, you practice patience. Let's get them dancing. Let's tour the nation. Hey, you in the front row. Yeah, all five of you. We paid to be here. Do you think I'd lie to you?
Target achieved.
If you enjoyed watching, your mission is to target and destroy the like button and subscribe. It really helps me out. Thank you. If you really want to show some appreciation, you can buy me a coffee using the link in the description. Like a little tip. Of course, there's no pressure. And we'll meet again on Rubicon sometime soon.
Protect and conceal all our remedies. Look in the mirror, I don't know my face. I guess somewhere I must have lost my way. Let the sounds and away astray. Never thought that I would see the day. You and me are always, even if the day should come.